If you read your own Financial Times, it described very beautifully what this Gaza Humanitarian Foundation was about. They were going to set up 2 or 3 distribution points in the south of Gaza. And then everybody from the north and the middle of Gaza would have to go to the south in order to get food or water or medicine. And then when everybody was congregated in the south, what do you think is going to happen? Exactly what happened in October 1948. There were going to be the massacres. You know what they were going to say.
Can I say something?
There was rioting. There was rioting at the food distribution centers. The IDF felt afraid. And then it started to fire. And then they hoped
Piers,
in one fell swoop they could send the whole population over the border into Egypt.
He likes to lecture.
It's perfectly obvious what Israel is doing now. It's the last stage, or I should say, it's the final stage of the final solution. And now some of the Western leaders don't want to have to dirty their hands with it. So suddenly people like Lamy are discovering that it's intolerable, the situation in Gaza. Guess what? It's been intolerable since October 8th.
Jesus Christ, man. That was brutal. And by the way, just so you know, if you watch more of the clip, Piers, by the end, he's still with Norm. So he's reached the correct place. And look, that point is devastating, right? Because for people who were sort of on the fence about this or mildly leaning pro-Israel, you hear a lot of commentary like, well, this is what Piers used to say. Well, what's the plan? Like, what's your plan? What are you going to do the day after? Like, what's the goal here? What are you driving at? And he would say stuff like, I don't see a plan. This looks totally incompetent. I don't know what they're doing here. This doesn't add up, right? And the point that Norm is making is like, this actually is the plan. The plan is kill them all. Kill as many as you can. The plan is mass genocide, starvation, famine, and then whoever remains, force them to go to a different country. They wanted Egypt. They wanted Jordan. Recently, the Trump regime was in talks trying to get them in Libya, trying to put 1 million in Libya. This is the plan. There was that leak that came out a few weeks ago where the Israeli government had their list of priorities. Literally, the dead last thing at the bottom was getting the hostages back. The dead last thing. This isn't about the hostages. There's been like 7 deals on the table where Hamas was willing to give up all the hostages, and Israel says no. Israel tanks the deal. So why? Why? Because their main goal, genocide, ethnic cleansing, steal Gaza, resettle Gaza, occupy Gaza, never allow any Palestinians to come back. It's ours now. At the same time, they're working on a similar plan for the West Bank to take all of the West Bank. The idea of a greater Israel, they view it as now it's on the table. Hamas is weakened. Hezbollah's weakened. They want war with Iran. They want to expand their borders. We are witnessing a war of annihilation and extermination. We're witnessing a genocide. And we're witnessing a scenario very similar to Nazi Germany, where they have territorial conquest in mind. And so that's the reality of the situation, and Norm Finkelstein is explaining it from their perspective, from the perspective of Netanyahu, from the perspective of Smotrich and Ben-Gvir and top Israeli commanders. They're saying, all's going according to plan. All's going according to plan. And they're even coming out and saying it now in many speeches. You have Smotrich was saying, like, yeah, we're going to reoccupy. Why are you afraid of victory? Don't be afraid of victory. This is victory. Let's go get it. So there is no plausible deniability. None. Zero. This is the genocide in modern history that has the most evidence of any genocide ever. And you still have some people denying it. You still have some people shoving their head in the sand. You still have some people pretending like this isn't what it very obviously and clearly is. But history will judge incredibly harshly. And you know, the thing is, I don't even think we have to wait that long for that to happen. It's already happening right now. The propaganda has failed miserably. And so, as I always say to you guys, a lot of people thought, hey, what the hell would I do if I was alive around the time of Nazi Germany? Like, what would I have done at the time? Well, now you know. Because there's even more evidence in real time for this genocide. We're witnessing it. Just because of technology and social media and all of it. So now you know what you would have done. And I give a lot of credit to Norm on this because I'm at the point myself where I feel like, why would I even debate something that is so not debatable, what's happening there? Why would I even do that? But to Norm's credit, he agreed to do it, but he certainly sounds like he knows this isn't a debate. Let's stop pretending this is a debate. I'm right. You're wrong. This is what's happening. And shame on the world. He makes a great point about all the countries there that are now, like, sort of realizing what this is and condemning Israel. It's like, this is chicken shit stuff. They just want the history books to not have their name in the bad column, right? They want the history. Oh, look, see, the government of France condemned it. Like, this is what they're doing here. They're ass covering. That's what they're, because we all know if you actually cared about stopping the genocide, the entire world would cut off Israel, sanction them, embargo them, zero trade with them. You would have a situation where the UN would be enforcing that same blockade the Houthis are doing. It would be the UN doing that. You would arrest Netanyahu and Ben-Gvir and Smotrich and the Israeli generals and all of these criminals. You would arrest them. You would arrest them. You would try them. You would make an example to say, no, when we said never again, we meant it. And it's happening again. That's what we need to do. The U.S. should cut off the money, cut off the weapons, sanction them, arrest the war criminals, and force a peace deal on Israel. Force it. I don't care what their thoughts are. What was that poll? 82 or 84% support the ethnic cleansing of Gaza. 82 or 84% of Israeli Jews support the ethnic cleansing of Gaza. I no longer care what you think. I'm not looking for your side of the story. I'm looking to stop the mass atrocities and the murder spree. That's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to stop you from forcing people to die from starvation. And by the way, that's what this was. This was a CIA Mossad plot, by the way. Netanyahu, Trump, the CIA, Mossad. Let's set up these, humanitarian zones where we'll give you food and water and medicine, but we're going to put it in South Gaza, so you all got to go there. Oh, look at that. The rest of Gaza's empty. I guess we'll take that, right? That's the mindset. Oh, did you eat all the food here? You can go to this other place now to get more food and water. Oh, is that outside of the borders of Gaza? Well, I guess you got to go there. Oh, look, we have a spot for you in Libya where we have another one of these camps where you'll get some food and water. This is part of the ethnic cleansing plan. That's what it is. And anybody at this late date who's pretending that this is not what's happening, they are lying to you. They're lying. I'm at the point where there is no good faith. Oh, I slightly disagree with how I see it. Wrong. You're just wrong. You're lying. You know it is what it is. You know it is what it is. It could not be more clear. You have Donald Trump saying it, coming out, we're going to take Gaza, we're going to own Gaza. He comes out and says it. He posts a AI video of golden statues to himself in Gaza with him and Netanyahu sipping a mojito by poolside by a Trump hotel in Gaza on the beach. What more do you need? How many Israeli officials do you need to come out and say, well, we're killing Amalek, we're killing the infants and the kids and everybody. They're just terrorists in training. They're animals. They're subhuman. We're going to steal the land. We're going to occupy it. What more would you need? What more would you need? Jesus Christ. If the law is ever going to matter again, if international law is ever going to matter again, this can't slide. Full stop. This can't slide. There must be consequences. There must be justice. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.